Hi everyone. Today I want to share about gender balance, polarity, and sexuality. So, what I feel is happening, at least in our society here in Sweden, Scandinavia, and many other places nowadays, is that we are striving so hard for gender balance, which is great, after the history, etc. And the differences between male and female has been off, basically. So it's really great to see women are stepping up, women are making more money, women are taking on, work in different ways, etc., etc. And men are staying home from work, taking care of the children, and all this. But what I feel is happening in this strive towards gender balance is that it actually becomes an imbalance. So what happens when women is getting too far into the masculine and men is getting too far into the feminine, a discharge happens. So we kind of, instead of being polarized and man and woman, because on a physical level we are men and women, basically. And of course then we can talk about how we relate to feeling like a different type of gender, transsexual, etc., etc. But even there is always a polarity of somebody being more feminine or somebody more masculine. That's why the polarity, the sexual attraction, happens. But for most who are heterosexual, who have chosen that path and stay in a traditional male, female, or man, woman relationship, if we strive to be equal, then passion disappears because polarity disappears. And I find it a little bit sad that it's going that direction, because it's something really beautiful when we are consciously polarized. And even if sex is not the most important thing, or not the most important thing is a relationship, it is a nice add-on. And it seems like many relationships functions better if the sex life is functioning better. So in this trend of gender balance, I would like to see more healthy polarization as well, because there is something very beautiful when a woman identifying as a woman in a female body gets to be polarized by a very masculine man in a male body. The same if there is a bisexual couple, if the one relating more to a feminine energetic or principle, then that energetic will most likely want to be met by a more masculine energetic. So it's natural. It's natural to create the spark. It's natural to create a sexual attraction, lust, and passion. Because also what happens is that if we don't have passion in our relationships, they kind of die out. We want, most of us feel more happy when we have sexual energy running in our lives. So as a woman if she is running a lot of sexual energy, being well fucked, I would say, in a sensitive and respectful way, she will naturally be more happy and joyful, and she will radiate more, and her energetics will be spread more, her love will be spread more. She will be more likely to feel as a woman. And the same for a man. If he gets to have sex, which is most likely a more urge in a male body, he gets more relaxed, he gets to feel like a man, and he becomes more present and happy. And I really think that if we want to create a more balanced society, this is equally important to look at, really, and not and not put that aside or diminish that. And there's so much yumminess we can create when we consciously, and we can still, I don't say that women should stay home from work and take care of the kids and men should only go to work. That's not what I'm saying. We can still dance between these polarities, and it's healthy for a woman to also have a connection with her masculine energy, as the same for a man to be in contact with his feminine energy, because it creates more empathy and love, etc. But what can be fun to explore is how to polarize then. So what can I do as a woman coming home after making a lot of decisions, holding a lot of space, blah, 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 blah. What can I do to nourish myself, to get more back into my feminine softness? And also, if the man doesn't engage in raising his masculine energy and being more masculine, my feminine will never be able to surrender to him. Never. Then, if I have a tendency, or I do have a tendency to be strong in my masculine, then my masculine will take over, because a polarization will naturally happen. And it's not the polarization we often strive for. So if you as a woman feel that you've been having a tough day or days, and you're making a lot of decisions, and maybe you're holding a business, and whatever you're doing that keeps a lot of attention for the mind, then when you come home, you can dance, for example. You can put on some nice music and do some self-loving touch and light some candles, get in contact with beauty to awaken the senses. So when you awaken the senses, you awaken the contact with the feminine energy. And as a man, I would highly recommend that if you feel that you are not really in your power, or a little bit wimpy, or you feel that actually I miss something, I miss to be in my power, then go and do exercise, weightlifting, martial arts, go out for a long run, chop wood, go for a game with the guys somewhere, hang out with your male friends, and get in contact with your male energy. And if you're in a couple and you practice this constantly to find ways of polarize yourself, you will also notice that the attraction will spark more again, and your sex life might be better. And that doesn't necessarily need to be a goal for it, but you can just practice to see what happens in your body if you embrace that what is natural in you. So I say yes to polarization. I say yes to gender differences, and I say yes to gender balance, of course. But I say fucking hell yes to polarization and passion, and embracing the feminine and embracing the masculine as two different principles too. If you have any comments, please write below or share with me if you have thoughts around this sharing. And feel free to write to me if you have any questions. I wish you a very pleasant, lovely, wonderful, delicious, passionate day, evening. Ciao.